So I decided to play Misery. I ended up playing all by myself. It is a multiplayer game, so you can play with your friends if you have any. So I started off in this dark basement with an incinerator and a bunch of garbage. I noticed that there was some flashlights on the wall, so I just grabbed one and headed out. So the game starts off with this one extraction phase. It only happens just once, where you have 60 seconds to pick up as much stuff as you can, just to give yourself a little of a head start pretty much at the beginning of the game. And I was disappointed I didn't find any backpack, because I knew a backpack is going to go a long way in this game. So here we go, here's my stuff. Not too good, just a few bandages and some pills and some gasoline. It's going to be a hard run, especially considering I don't know what to expect once I open that door. I did manage to get a machete though, so that made me feel a bit better. So I looked around in that first area and there didn't seem to be anything there, so I had to move on to the next door, which took me to the actual extraction area. I was really terrified, again, because I didn't know what I'm expecting here. I was told to stój gnida, whatever that means, and I was chased by this very angry Russian man straight back to my bunker. And that was my first experience outside my bunker. Alrighty, the Russian is down. First success. Found some bread on him and some pickles. Found this little red container with some loot. And somehow the Russians heard me. I think it's because my character actually sneezed or coughed. And I got cheeky-bricked. I decided to man up here and actually try to treat him with my machete. And it worked. But I didn't realize I'm actually being kind of killed by radiation slowly where I was standing. I'm about to learn a critical lesson though. I knew that cigarettes can bring the radiation down. For some reason it didn't work. So it was my first death. So when you die you actually respawn back in your bunker. So it's not too bad. So I decided to go back out there, even though it was night. And on my way there, I found something interesting. Human poop. Must have shat myself on my way there. Probably gets used for fertilizer, I figured. I was glad I left that knife here before on that guy, so I could actually use it as a weapon now. This game was pretty creepy at night time. Plus I wasn't sure if using the flashlight makes me more visible to the enemies, or if there is a mechanic like that in the game or not. But look at that, I found my body. So yeah, that's a really cool thing about the game, that your bodies actually stay behind and you can actually take your items back. So yeah, I actually really like that. I went about my day and I was exploring the extraction zone a little bit more, avoiding the radiation. And I heard a plane. I looked at my compass and this happened. I wasn't quite too sure what that was. I just figured it's part of the game, you gotta die. Here we go, another friendly Russian is greeting me as soon as I leave the bunker. But at least I got the chance to check out the Sears. I'm just gonna call it the shop area, alright? Or the trading area. It was just full of different NPCs that you can actually trade with. The trading system is particular in this game. It's only particular items that are tradable, and you can only trade those specific items with those specific NPCs. So a little weird system, if I'm honest. The guy could actually sell backpacks, and that piqued my curiosity. I knew I'm gonna need that as quickly as possible. Righty, so back we go. Hopefully the crazy Russian is gone now.
Сюда, давай побазарь! Ты оглох, что ли, блядь? Булки сжал, как статуя, встал!
Nope, he is still here. Had nothing to fight with, so I had to use my fist. Turns out it's not too good of a weapon. So there we go. I ran straight back out there. just to avenge myself.
Опа-на, кто это тут у нас? О, привет, гони кабан.
Just kidding, I died again.
О, малый, ну-ка, стоять сюда!
Well, this time around I finally managed to kill him. He was already low HP, so never mind. I died again. But this time... he wasn't there. So I just walked around. Probably the fact that it's dark and he actually couldn't see me this time. So that helped. I tried to find my body, but unfortunately the only thing I actually managed to find was my bones. I'm not sure if it was my bones, but who else could it be? So I guess all my stuff was gone.
Опа, мальчик, ты не потерялся? Опа-на, кто
So I was running through those dark forests. I meet my friend once again. I was so done with him, I just decided to run away. The Russian voices stopped. And that's when I realized I can actually just run away from them. Which is a good thing. Glad I learned that. Just gotta run. So off I went exploring. On a little bench with some food. Obviously I took the bench as well. Some corpses with a plastic hammer. That deals no damage. But it does make a cool sound. I seem to enjoy that. I kept on running through the bushes just to see what else I can find, and I did find something weird. A boar, if you can call that. It had one too many horns to be called a boar, if I'm honest. But luckily nothing happened. And suddenly I heard the sirens. I knew it's time to get the back. I was panicking, I was running as fast as I can, and my best friends found me, started chasing me again. He was kindly showing me my way back home.
О, привет, гони хабар, сука. Алло, фраер, да?
I did recognize the truck, so I knew it has to be somewhere near here. And I found it. Making your way back is always scary. That's why I advise using the compass. I haven't been using the compass as much as I should have at the beginning of the game. Just adding to the stress. But hey, we made it back. And look at all the loot we got. So it didn't have anywhere where I can put it, so it just had to sit on the floor. Managed to find some ammo, but no weapons yet. As soon as the next day came around, I didn't waste any time, and I went straight back out there. I found myself wandering through the woods again, and I found this weird little hut. And I knew I had to make my way inside to get that delicious loot. It did spook me a little bit, and I was getting slightly annoyed at all the dying. Since it's nighttime, I took a flashlight with me this time. And out we go. I was wondering what these weird creatures were that I saw before. There they were. But I realized they were running away from me, so I thought they're probably more scared of me than I am of them. Now, here was a big problem that I had at the start of the game. Boxes. So, you can use your fist when you don't have a weapon, but you can't break boxes with your fist. Only a weapon can, so it's just one of the mechanics in the game. I had a closer look at one of the monsters, and it was just a little dwarf that likes to drink vodka apparently. Fortunately I didn't have any, so I just kept on exploring. On a little chapel, or an outhouse, sorry, that you can actually set as a respawn point, which is nice. Found some delicious cream cola, whatever that is, and a beautiful cockroach. Finally found a better weapon, some baseball bat with nails in it. So that should do the trick. So I can finally deal with those boxes now. Hey. I was finally done exploring the village, and by the time I was done it got really dark, which was really spooky. I wandered around and I saw this weird big field and spears in the sky. And then the plane came again, and the bombs dropped. And I think at this point I figured out that it's the plane that's killing me. And when it comes, it's time to hide. I managed to find my body with all my stuff, so that's good. And that was that field that I saw last night. Looked different during daylight. Looked actually pretty. Oh yeah, I found a firecracker. I decided to give it a little throw. And that's it. Disappointing. I kept exploring the world and I kept on finding really weird places. Completely different from each other. Like this place, for example, with a excavator and like weird rocks coming out of the ground, with a lot of corpses laying around. And here, then the alarm went off, so I quickly rushed back home. And you know the drill, back out we went.